Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Action Jackson, man. And in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my ways of how we beat the Washington Commanders on Sunday, man. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think might enjoy my content, man. So hopping straight into it, man. Let's go. You guys already know I started out with injury reports. Starting out with the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler Biadasz is out. Like I explained before, he's only out with a high ankle sprain. We expect to have him first round matchup versus whoever we play, whether if that's Tampa, second seed, and we play the winner of that, whatever the scenarios are, whether it's Seattle, Detroit, or Green Bay, or somehow we get lucky and we get the number 1 seed. Kelvin Joseph is going to play. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to play. Tony Pollard is going to play. Cavante is questionable, and LVE is out. And again, if you guys are new, anyone that has a dash next to their name, so like I said, with Kelvin Joseph, DeMarcus, or Tony, anytime they got a dash next to their name, that means they're going to play. If they are out, they're out. If they're questionable, things like that. So, as you guys look in this injury report kind of looks similar, where you see a bunch of outs. It's kind of similar to what it was with the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Jonathan Allen is out. Antonio Gibson out. Cornelius Lucas out. Sadiq Charles is out. Bryant Robinson out. James Smith-Williams is out. St. Juste is out. Montez Sweat, thank God he's going to play. But that's about it really for the injury report. You guys can look over it again through in the video. Honestly, if we're just looking at it, it's honestly just going to be another Tennessee-Dallas game where a bunch of guys are out. But the only different scenario is that Washington, they're not resting for a particular reason. They are resting because they want a lot of guys healthy going into next year. They're already packing it up. They're already looking for the fall. They're already packing it in. They want to lose. They are, I think, in the middle pack right now in terms of draft order. So if they lose and a couple teams in front of them win, they jump back up into the top 10, and they're most likely going to go get a quarterback. They will go after a quarterback, especially if somebody like Anthony Richardson's up there. And I maybe if they're sold on that Trendon Hooker, the guy out of Tennessee, if they're sold on him, they might want to keep Heineke around, have Heineke be the starter, and then once Hooker's able to play, which probably he isn't somebody that's probably not going to be able to play until like 2024 maybe. So or 2023, who knows? He might be able to play like November, December maybe. But yeah, man. So there's not really, again, it's going to be another freestyle video. There's really no point I have in this game. We're going to be who we are, things I do want to address in this game is I want to go back to running the ball, establishing the run, and let's see if we're able to run the ball effectively. You got Jerron Payne that's still going to be out there. You're going to have Sweat. You're going to have Chase Young. So you're still going to have that defensive line out there. So you're going to have Ridgeway, who we drafted, just in the last spring, who we just drafted, and it's going to be a little bit something to see, So he's definitely gonna play with a chip on his shoulder. So this Washington team, they're not going to lay down easily, man. They have Sam Howell. He was projected to be the number 1 overall pick just again the last spring, but when Javonte Williams and most of that NFL talent had left, he obviously decreased because. Once you're playing with a bunch of NFL guys, NFL talented dudes, and they leave, and you were part of the reason, why that, they made you look good, and you also made them look good as well, that, you were going to definitely decrease in the rankings, definitely in the draft stock. So basically what I want Dallas to do for, offensively, defensively to Washington, offensively, is I want us to get after Sam Howell, terrorize him, get like that, press up man, Get up in Terry McLaurin's face, Jahan Dotson. Get up in their face, man. This is still a division rival game. You don't want to fold. There's no reason for you to rest. You're still playing for either the number 2 or the number 1 seed. Potentially, you still need a couple favors for you to get the number 1 seed. I'll talk about that later in the video. So like I said, I just want us to get in that rhythm, running the ball, playing smash mouth football, have our defensive line understand and know that they still can get to the quarterback at a high rate. I think the best offensive line you're going to run into when you make this run is the Eagles. The Eagles are by far going to have the best offensive line. Then the Niners will be the second best offensive line. The Bucks, they are getting healthier. They're getting Ryan Jensen back, and if you have to play the Bucks, so be it. So on that end, like I said, I want the defense get after the quarterback, play press man. Don't be scared. Let's get up in their faces. Don't give them 10 yards of cushion. Offensively, run the ball. Don't turn the ball over. No dumb penalties. Clean up all the turnovers, like I said. And that's about it, man. And once you get up in this game, or now I'm about to head into what I'm talking about with the scenario. So the NFL, they did their thing and not trying to avoid any lackluster games of Week 18. So the number 1 or number 2 seed for Dallas Cowboys will be decided all before the Sunday night game against the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. So the scenarios now moving forward is the Dallas Cowboys can win the division and be the 2nd seed if the Giants beat the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys win against the Washington Commanders. We will be the 2nd seed, and we will play the 7th seed, whoever that may be, whether Seattle, Detroit, or Green Bay. If Philly wins and we still win or lose, it doesn't matter. We will have to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know when, but we will have to go to Tampa and play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Niners, if the Niners lose to the Arizona Cardinals, Philadelphia loses to the New York Giants, and we win, we are the number 1 seed, and the playoffs will have to come through Dallas, Texas. The Dallas Cowboys, they're 8-1 at home at AT&T Stadium, which is a really great record. But honestly, if you look at that road record, I believe we're a game above 500, or we are 500. But if you honestly look at that road games, man, it's kind of dicey because, I think of the 3 losses, 1 came to your backup quarterback when Dallas Cowboys had our backup quarterback in Cooper Rush against the Eagles when they're like 5-0, 6-0 at the time, and we only lost to them by 9 points. Then your other 2 losses came against they both were overtime losses that your defense just blundered in with leads. So I end up doing really well on the road, and we also played really, really well this year when we were doubted. And I feel like I have a lot of confidence going into the playoffs. But like I said, just rewinding, going back into what the NFL did, they did a really great job. So like I said, the number 1, the number 2 seed, they're all decided. They all will be decided before the Sunday Night Football game. The Cardinals and Niners play at the same time as the Dallas Cowboys and Commanders, so as the Giants and Philadelphia Eagles. So the Cowboys will know who they will play at the end of the day tomorrow. So it's going to be a really fun and eventful evening for sure. It's going to be really intriguing. My odds, and not my odds, but my ideas of what I think will happen tomorrow. More than likely, I think we will be the number 5 seed, just for the simple fact I think that the Eagles will be the Giants, because I remember when the Giants, when they asked a reporter, a reporter asked Byron Daboll after a convincing win against the Indianapolis Colts to officially cement their playoff chances, and they locked in as the number 6 seed. They asked Daboll, after the win, like, hey, what are you going to do for Week 18? And he said that, we're going to play all our guys. So looking at the injury report right now for the Giants, which I told myself, and I was saying it just didn't make any sense at all for them to play everybody, especially knowing how a lot of the guys on their team are very injury prone. Leonard Williams. There's just a bunch of guys that can potentially get hurt, that have been hurt, in years past. Thank God they haven't been as hurt as they were years prior, and they've gotten a bit healthier since then. But it's very key that the Giants do want to rest their guys, because more than likely they're going to have to see the Minnesota Vikings again. And it took Minnesota having to kick, I think, a 60-yard field goal to beat them. So that game's going to be really intriguing. I can't wait for that game. That game's going to be really good, in my opinion. Other than the Dallas Cowboys playing whoever they will play, because it's always intriguing watching the Dallas Cowboys play, regardless, especially in the playoffs, especially with the narratives that float around for them. So for me, like I said, more than likely you will have to play Tom Brady. I'm not scared of Tom Brady, and I agree with a lot of the bigger Cowboy content creators out there, man. I think once you are able to go to Tampa, and this is what's going to happen, what I feel like, when you do play the Buccaneers, I feel like you're going to wax them. I feel like you're going to beat them because, like I said prior, the Dallas Cowboys play a lot better when their backs is against the wall, especially with this regime. Other than last year, of course, not showing up in the playoffs, it was just this year. It was after week 1 when Dak Prescott went out. Everyone thought, including me, I thought that we were going to be picking in the top 5 of the draft. I wouldn't even think we were talking about playoffs. I didn't expect Cooper Rush to be as solid as he was, for as long as he was. He was a really great starter for like 5 or 6 weeks. Then your defense comes in and they play amazing, and they're only holding teams to like 10, 11 points. And then that one 26 points, that was really on the offense, who gave Philadelphia those 20 points that they spotted them, 26 points. So, I mean, it went from that, and then Dak Prescott gets back in. There we go. Then we go back on this scoring explosion. Then we have some heartbreaking losses, just 2 really against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then the Green Bay Packers in overtime. And then, so your back was against the wall ever since week 1, because when you couldn't move the ball, they were trashing on Dak. Then Dak got hurt. Everyone was already throwing in the towel for the Dallas Cowboys, saying their season was over. Then that flipped. Then when you went in to go play Minnesota after having a heartbreak loss on a short week, mind you, after losing to the Green Bay Packers, and the Buffalo Bills, same thing on a short week, was applauded, and people, the hype, people were so quick to do the recency bias, which is just a horrible drug that the internet has been given out to people, but specifically in sports, it happens across anything like movies, television, entertainment. Like one really good movie will come out and everyone will say it was the best ever, but a lot of people are like that, and it's kind of mind-boggling. But they were hyping up the Vikings, saying how great the Vikings are because they beat the Buffalo Bills, and then they come out 4 days later and get waxed by the Cowboys, and then the week after that they barely even squeak out a win against the Patriots. So then once we beat them and waxed them, everyone was like, oh, it's Kirk Cousins and whatever. So basically what I'm saying about you will wax Tampa is that they will doubt you. They will say that you've never ever beaten Tom Brady ever. Tom Brady is in the playoffs. Tom Brady's a different animal in the playoffs. Records don't matter. We know that, obviously. So then, it's going to be this big hype around this game, especially with Tom Brady playing the Cowboys. It's definitely going to be something intriguing to watch. And you wax them, and I feel like the Dallas Cowboys will go on a run, because after you take care of that monster of Tom Brady and everyone doubting you throughout that entire week, and then what they're going to say to you after you wax them, they're going to be like, well, you were a 12, 13-win team. This team struggled to even be above 500. You should have waxed them, then it's going to, the media talking out of both sides of their neck. So It's going to be really intriguing to see that once we do wax him, because the Cowboys will have the ultimate confidence. You just beat the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback to ever have played this game. I don't care what a lot of people say. I give respect to Joe Montana and all those other guys, but Tom Brady playing in the amount of Super Bowls that he has played in, and it will be also nice for us to send him packing out of the NFC, and then he'll go back to the AFC, whether that's with the Raiders or whoever. And then you'll have the utmost confidence versus, especially a team, you go in and whoever, the Niners, if you got to go to Santa Clara, freak it. Go to Santa Clara. I'm not scared of the Niners. The other Cowboy fans are. I never cared about them before 21 when we played them in the playoffs. I'm never going to care about them. So you got them. Then if you play the Eagles, they're little brothers to me. So, and Dallas, Dallas has the utmost confidence playing the division. They're going to talk same thing. Media's going to be like, oh, you guys both beat each other with your backups. Let's see what happens when you play Jalen Hurts or whatever. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how these playoffs turn out for the Dallas Cowboys, man. But like I said, more than likely, I think we'll play Tom Brady. What I won't be surprised happens if we get the number 2 seed and Philly loses and we win, and we're the number 2 seed and we got to play whoever the 7th seed might be, whether that's Detroit or Seattle or Green Bay. I won't be surprised neither. Even if we got to play an Aaron Rodgers, that would be an intriguing storyline as well. If you get the number 1 seed, I will be shocked, because that means I wouldn't know how the Niners would have lost Week 18 without the Cardinals having Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and whoever else they won't have active in that game. I'll be totally shocked. And then Philly losing and then us winning, that would have to take a miracle for us to get the number 1 seed. But for me, I think the number 5 seed is something that you will get. So that's about it for the video, man. I know I've been on a long tangent. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Bye.